On March 8, 2014, just after midnight, Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 took off from Kuala Lumpur, destined for Beijing. On board were 239 souls, settling in for what they believed would be an ordinary night flight. The cabin lights dimmed, the hum of the engines was a familiar comfort, and no one had any idea they were flying straight into one of modern history's greatest mysteries. At 1:19 a.m., a calm voice from the cockpit made its final contact with air traffic control. "Good night, Malaysian 37, no distress, no warning." And then, silence. The aircraft simply vanished from civilian radar screens. Controllers waited expecting the plane to reappear. It never did. The silence grew heavier with each passing minute, but this wasn't a simple crash. Hours later, military radar data revealed something far more unsettling. MH370 hadn't just disappeared, it had changed course. The plane made a deliberate, calculated turn, flying back over the Malaysian peninsula and out toward the vast, empty expanse of the Indian Ocean. It climbed and descended, following a path that seemed anything but random. It was as if someone was still in control, guiding the plane with a clear but unknown purpose. Imagine being a passenger inside that cabin. The in-flight entertainment screens suddenly go dark. The familiar drone of the aircraft changes subtly. The flight attendants, trying to maintain their composure, move through the aisles with confused expressions. No announcement comes from the captain. The intercom remains silent. Then, the oxygen masks drop from the ceiling. Panic should have erupted, but investigators later developed a chilling theory: hypoxia, a slow, insidious lack of oxygen, causing not chaos, but a quiet, creeping drowsiness. One by one, passengers and crew would have slipped into unconsciousness, unaware that they were taking their final breaths. The cabin would have fallen silent, a tomb flying through the night sky, yet the plane flew on. For hours, the Boeing 777, likely on autopilot, continued its journey over the Indian Ocean. It was a ghost ship in the sky, a sealed metal tube carrying 239 sleeping souls, guided by waypoints that no official flight plan could account for. On the ground, a different kind of horror unfolded. Families waited by phones that never rang. News reports offered no comfort, no wreckage, no answers. The world watched as a massive multinational search began, scouring the seas for any sign of the missing plane. But there was nothing, just an endless empty ocean. Years went by. Then, pieces began to appear. Fragments of a wing, a flaperon washed up on the distant shores of Africa, thousands of miles from where the search had been focused. These pieces, confirmed to be from MH370, were tangible proof of a tragic end. The plane had, at some point, met the water, but the most crucial parts, the black boxes containing the flight data and cockpit voice recorders, were never found. The final moments, remained a secret held by the deep. The void of information has been filled with endless speculation. Some fishermen reported seeing a low-flying aircraft that night. Strange stories emerged, like the one about a satellite technician who reviewed classified data and then quietly resigned, reportedly saying it didn't crash when it should have. This is the truly terrifying heart of the MH370 mystery. It's not just that a plane crashed. It's the thought of those hours it spent flying on, a silent automaton over a dark ocean. A plane with its lights off, its cabin full of the departed, obeying commands from an unknown source. Was it a deliberate act by a pilot, a remote hijacking, or something else entirely? Somewhere in the crushing darkness of the Indian Ocean, the bulk of MH370 likely rests. But without the black boxes, the full story may never be told. The silence that began on that March night has never truly ended, leaving us with a haunting question: what really happened to flight MH370 after it said goodnight? Thanks for watching. If you find these mysteries as compelling as I do, consider subscribing for more deep dives.